Hey, say hi, Dobby. This is our dog, Dobby. He's so excited. He's our guard dog. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dobby. How's it going? My name's Ron Reed. I had to go out and do a few things. Had to get a grill for my wife, get my oil changed in my truck, change a battery, get a razor, take out the trash, all that good stuff. But now I get to do my first YouTube video. So hopefully it turns out okay. I'm going to try and edit it. We'll see how it goes. But I wanted to do one on World War II. World War II in Middle Tennessee especially. We had over 850,000 troops trained through Middle Tennessee because of the terrain and the weather conditions. Were very much like Germany and the European theater. So all those troops trained through here. I think we had 25 divisions trained through the Middle Tennessee area. 23 of those divisions actually went over to the European theater. So I wanted to show you an area that we found, one of my friend's properties. And we've been hunting it for over 2 years and we're still finding stuff. I've easily found over 1,000 artifacts from World War II there. And several of my friends have also found probably close to that as well. But I just think it's kind of neat, and I wanted to go ahead and do my first YouTube video on that. So we'll head over to the property. So heading out to the property, Dobby's going to lead the way. Head out our drive. Dobby always feels like he has to escort you. I don't know if you can see it or not. We got some turkeys out there just hanging out. Got their little babies out in the field. Well, still on the road. We'll be there after a bit. I'll turn you back on when we get there. Okay, we're out here at the property. Just thought it was kind of neat. There's still one old building standing, but there used to be a house that's set over here. Still got the well and everything. So we've hunted a bit around here. We found a few old things, but used to be a old house set in here. Still got this old building. Still remnants of buildings over there, like an old barn, a couple old barns, a pigsty or chicken coop. But we're going to head into those woods over there, and we're going to check out where the soldiers stayed as they practiced their red and blue maneuvers. During those maneuvers, they'd have all kinds of bombers and planes and tanks. They'd use flour grenades and flour bombs. They had umpires to say when people were out, basically like a big war game, right? That's what it was. It was a big war game. And it really trained them, trained their officers so they could see if their officers could tell their troops and the resources to go where they needed to go. And it kind of gave them a little leg up when they finally got over there to Germany and could move their troops and their resources around, such as their tanks and companies of men and whatnot. So I'm going to shut off for now, and we'll head into the woods, and I'll show you some of the things that they left behind. I use Garrett AT Pro. That's what I started hunting over here. I use a 5x8 coil, which I like because it gets between the trees and the little places. It doesn't go as deep as a big one. I also used a White's MXT out here that was my first detector. I found a lot of stuff with that as well, but I do like this one because it's waterproof. I like the sounds, VDI, numbers. Although mostly I go by sound anymore as far as what's a good signal and a bad signal. But anyways, I'm gonna head off into the woods and show you guys some of the camps and what they left behind. So just let you see this here on the property. We found this where they built up rock wall out of stones probably from the fields as they were clearing them. But you can see that they've built up and stacked the rocks into a nice wall. So we always check around those. You never know, man. Might be a cache of gold buried around there, huh? So, but anyways, I thought that was kind of neat as we go down the field and get into the area where the soldiers were. So just heading down the trail. There's stuff around here too. It's a little harder to find because people have used part of this as a shooting range. So there's a lot of modern bullets. But as I get out in the woods, it's just another nice part of metal detecting. You can hear all the insects and animals and water running. It's just nice and peaceful. But we're going to keep on walking and head on into the woods. Well, that first signal wasn't much, but I'm off in the woods here a little bit. Getting a pretty high signal right there. Maybe be some silver. Let's check and see. Seems awful big, but we'll see what it is. It's a pretty decent signal. Kind of hard to do with just one hand. We'll set this down. See what this is. Something fairly good size. There it is. Let's see what that is. So I just dug it out of the hole. See what it is. Looks like a button. Coming in pretty high. I'm going to check it out here a little closer. Yep, looks like it has the stars on it, if you can see that there. So that would be one of the World War II soldiers' buttons. I've got a few jars of these, but they are still awesome. So we'll keep looking, and I'm going to show you some of the places that their campsites and whatnot, so you can see what they were doing out here. Thanks. Well, I got a decent signal. I always find these kind of neat. So I just dug this. This is something, a tube the soldier would have buried after he was done using. So I was going to unroll it and see what it says. I'll clean it up better when I get home, but it looks like shaving cream. Luxury shaving cream. Ooh. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got another signal here. And this is something else I find a lot of out here. So they were all cleaning their guns. So there's a gun cleaning tool, right? Still got the bristles. Still got the threads on it. So kind of neat. I'll get back with you on my next signal. Well, I've been out here walking around for over an hour. It's hot out. But as you can see, there's lots of trails. He's got trails cut in everywhere. Last time I was out here was months ago, and the leaves were down. It looks a lot different, so I was having a little bit of a hard time trying to find some of the things I wanted to find. But I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but over there in the woods there's some rocks that are stacked. And this is something that the soldiers did, so over 70 years ago, right, for World War II. Soldiers were in the area, and they actually built this bench. And it's still sitting out here. I always find it neat that this is just sitting out here on this 100+ acres. And I've ate my lunch here a few times as I've been out metal detecting. But they did a pretty good job, huh? But just sitting out here in the middle of the woods, this is one of the things that kind of gave them an idea that there was something happening out here, along with campfire rings, and then the bunch of foxholes dug, which look like, you know, just holes in the ground. But I'll show you some of those here in a little bit, so you know what those look like. In case you're walking around somewhere and you see them, you'll know what they are. And you'll know that you're near a World War II maneuver area. So I'm just gonna sit down here. Whew. I'm gonna take a little break. It is hot. I am sweating. So I'm gonna sit here and take a break, and we'll get started again. And later on here, I will show you some foxholes, campfire ring, and later on I'll just show you some of my neat things that I have found over here on the property. So just walking through again, and one of the other things I wanted to show you was they have some tables out here in the woods and whatnot too. This is the biggest one that we found so far. I imagine them laying out their plans. This seemed to be an area where we found more of the officer insignia, etc. So I think they hung out here on this edge of the camp. But anyways, we're going to walk up to there. You can probably see the table from here. But again, this has been sitting here for 75 years. I imagine them coming up here and bringing their plans for the maneuvers and laying them out on this table that they built on these rocks. And checking them out, talking about what they were going to do with all their troops, which there was a bunch of troops around here with the amount of stuff we found. Boy, there was a lot of men in here. They were all over this property, lots of camps. We found canteens around here and some other things. But anyways, I just thought that was neat. I thought I'd show you their table. So I just got a pretty good signal. I thought it was probably shells from the range, so I didn't tape it. But looks like it's a coin. I see it right there. Popped out of the hole, wasn't too deep. Sitting here in this glade right at the edge of the property. We found a lot of Jeeps drove up through some of these of the old roads and whatnot, the glades, because I've got Jeep parts and whatnot. But that's definitely a coin. From the back of it, I think it's a Wheatie. So that would definitely be from the soldiers. So they were up in here. I found a ring down in there at one point. Yep, it's a Wheatie. So it looks like I always check my hole again. Also always cover my hole. But anyways, looks like I have another signal in there, probably a penny. You can see I got high 70s to 81, so must have been a pocket spill. So let's see what we can find here. See if we can do this one-handed. Okay, so it's right in there. The other one was a 1935, by the way. Let's see what we find here. Maybe be another coin, hopefully. It sounds like it. Okay, it's out of the hole. Yep, another coin. See what we got here. It's another coin. See what we got. It looks like another Wheatie. Again, I'll have to get the date off it. It's like maybe a 1931. I'll check it when we get home. See if there's any. So that was two wheat pennies in the same hole. So that's cool. I know they're not super rare or anything. Some are worth some decent amount of money, but anyways, I still like to find them. Plus it was in a soldier's pocket, so that's pretty cool. I got a 70-something signal. Pretty strong, so I thought I'd see what it was. Pop it out of the ground and see what see what it is. Wasn't too deep. It's just another bullet from the range. Kind of thought maybe. Oh well, can't win them all. Well, I've seen plenty of foxholes since I've been here, but just wanted to show you what they look like. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but they've dug that out. The size of a human, right? You start seeing them around. There's another one over here. You get down at ground level, you can kind of see that it's dug out. What they would do is they would dig those out all the way around an area so that they could protect themselves. If you look over here, this was their campground, because there is their fire pit, which is still here. So all these fire pits that we've dug, we've left them exactly the way that they are. I don't know, when we dig them out, we just put the rocks back if there was anything in there. Some of them we found buttons and stuff from burned things. You know, maybe it was bad ripped shirt or something that was damaged. But we definitely check all around this camp. The foxholes where they dug out. There's more around here, more foxholes. So as you get out from the camp, you'll see where they've dug more out. So here's another one. Just a depression in the ground. It's kind of full of leaves and stuff right now. But you can see a little bit better there. I kicked the leaves out of it. But just setting up their perimeter. We would find many of these camps fairly close together. Lots of tent parts and hangers and all the things that would go along with them camping out here and spending the night or a few days as they camped here and decided what they had to do for their maneuver. So I'll see you in a bit. So, well, here's the stuff we found yesterday as we were just walking the trails. So there's a World War II button. I've got quite a few of those. There's a wheat cent, another wheat cent. I think it was a 1935 and a 1941. I just find them neat because a soldier did have them in their pocket. They're not worth much. That's a cleaning tool for their gun. Found a bunch of them. And here's some luxury shaving cream in a tube that they rolled up and buried. So that's what we found yesterday. Now we'll get into some of the stuff that I've found over the last couple of years. There's a file, a hammer, a wrench. We found all kinds of different tools, even up to an air pump for tires for a Jeep. Lots of tent stuff, so they set up lots of tents. These are the metal that the wood posts would go through. I found some with still a little bit of wood left in them, and then these would help them to break down so they could pack them up. I find these neat. We've got some brushless shaving cream too. We've got some Barbasol. Found some razors left in the woods. Lots of razor blades. Toothpaste, ribbon dental cream. This one here is kind of neat. It shows it's Colgate back in the 40s. Still got the cap on it. Got a soap dish. Still intact. I didn't try to open it. I don't know. Probably has, maybe has a little soap. I doubt it. So we have some medical supplies like tape and manicure sets, scissors, nail files. You know, some bottles for Mercurochrome, etc. Right? Found some all kinds of other neat bottles, but I like the Coke ones. This one here is from Nashville, if you can see that. Nashville, Tennessee. This Coke bottle here is from Tullahoma. So kind of neat. We found a lot of utensils and canteen, etc. But so there's one of those little turnkeys, right? If you remember those, to open up tin cans. There's a bottle opener. There's plenty of beer and whiskey bottles we found. Knives that have the US still on the handle, right? Which is neat. Spoons, forks. Found a lot of the hangers that they had. They would bend up into different shapes. I think they were cooking things around the fire or hanging things to dry, etc. Put this through electrolysis, so looks a lot better than it did when we got it. And then this is a canteen holder. So just, you know, buried out there. Seen its better days, but that's what that is. Found a lot of pocket knives. I got more than this, but this is what I had handy to pull out. But varying types. Obviously, most everybody had pocket knives back then. Some pretty rough shape. But again, these are pretty personal items. So, just think they're kind of neat. Other thing is personal items. So we found some glasses, harmonica reed, somebody playing harmonica, pipe stem, not metal, just found while digging other things. Here's a man's ring, kind of neat, nothing special, but that was one of the soldiers. I mean, it's not gold or anything. This one as well. This looks a little, I always thought, like a love knot ring or something like that. So, you know, maybe this was a ring that he had that he was wearing around his neck for his girlfriend or somebody he left at home. This is a lighter. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but there is a shield on there. It says USA. Kind of neat, somebody's lighter cover. So we got a lot of buckles and hooks. I didn't pull them all out. There's probably 15, 20 different types that we found. There's more buttons in these. This is just like the button I showed us digging earlier yesterday. But this one here is obviously better made, probably off of officer uniform. These are just plain ones. Still got the paint on it. A lot of them are a lot rougher shape than that, maybe for a duffel bag or something. Here's a 4-hole button. It says U.S. Army on it. Lots of snaps and grommets. We're pretty sure this is off of Canteen. Snap. So we found lots of insignia and whatnot. There's a lieutenant bar. Found several of those. Some silver. That's a fist, so that's some sort of insignia. I got to find out what battalion that is. Collar pins, U.S. collar pins. Still have the backs where they screw on and off for the collars. Kind of neat. Here's an artillery. So this would have been on the other collar. Again with the screw on the back. Somebody dropped it out of their pocket. Part of the rifle marksman badge. Some sort of hat pin, I think. It's broken. This one here was actually found at a different place. But it was World War II. It's silvered. Goes on their hat. It's for their parade uniform. So that was kind of a neat find. That really came in as a really good signal. Lots of St. Christopher's. My buddy's going to send me a picture. I gave him one, my best one. I've got several others. But lots of St. Christopher medals. Some still on the chain, obviously, that they've lost. There's the back of that one. A lot of them have prayers on them as well, or the church that gave them to them to keep them safe while they were away. This one here still has a red, white, and blue shield on it. Kind of neat. Haven't cleaned up the back real well on it, but it also has a prayer on the back. We also find dog tags, and we try to research and get those back to family. Sadly, one I've researched, he has no living family. He's passed away. Another, the granddaughter, no reply as far as wanting them back, which is I find pretty sad. But anyways, these are pretty personal items for them. I'm not going to give you the information on them, but we've got from Pennsylvania, New York, Alabama, South Carolina, South Dakota. One of the very interesting things we found, I think that a soldier had around his neck, because I found it with something else that was a coin. At first I thought it was a animal dog tag, because you find those a lot. But the closer I looked, it has a bullet hole in it, and it's actually a World War I dog tag. I think that the soldier maybe had it wearing it for luck or whatnot, but here it is. So it says USA, but that's a World War I dog tag. But I keep my my dog tags, my grandfather's dog tags. Both of my grandfathers fought in World War II. My father was in the Marines and was at the Cuban Missile Crisis. I think that everybody should be proud of their service, and I find it hard to believe that some of the people would not want the dog tags of their grandfather or father back. So I'm going to continue to work on getting those back to those who want them or that actually have family, and I think that'll be a good thing. Another neat thing is all the coins and whatnot. So there's a Standing Liberty 1934 half dollar. You get a lot of, got buffalo nickels. I think this is a 34 or something like that, but the little buffalo nickel, which is kind of cool. Mercury dimes, lots of mercury dimes from the 20s to 40s while they were there. Here's a Standing Liberty half or a quarter. A lot of the dates on those got wore off right here because they didn't make them very well as far as where the date was, but it's from one of the soldiers' pockets. This was out of the same place I got this half dollar. It was together with it, but this was my oldest coin, 1880, 98, I think. You also got some interesting things here. This here is a tax token from Missouri. So some of the soldiers had their tax tokens from that time period. That was cool. This is for taxi or bus ride token. This is a bus ride token from South Carolina. Found several of those. This is from Washington, D.C. Good for one fare for taxi bus. So just to wrap it up, just wanted to show you some of the things that we found here in Middle Tennessee, where the U.S. conducted massive World War II games and exercises to prepare the men for battle over in Germany in the European theater. Great book out there, really the only book, is called In the Presence of Soldiers by Woody McMillan. It's an awesome book. It tells all about it. There were soldiers that lost their lives during the training because it was pretty rough. Interestingly, they went all over the place. They drove tanks over people's fences. I don't know how many miles and miles and miles of fences they had to replace. They, as I said earlier, they used flour bombs, and they used a light bomb that they were testing out. In one story, they killed a cow by dropping it in a field and blinded several others that they had to pay for. But the soldiers kind of had the run of the land around here. A lot of the people pitched in and gave them meals at their houses. We talked to guys that were kids at the time that are older now that barely went to school. They would go and take the soldiers' drinks and things. Soldiers would pay them to run to town and get them things. So anyways, it's an interesting part of our history, and just wanted to do a video about it. So this is my first one. Hopefully my videos will get better as I go along, but if you like this, please like and subscribe.